Hi. Are you an absolute scumbag like me? Are you willing to sacrifice the positive opinion of your peers for MMR in Rainbow Six Siege? Are you willing to win at all costs, no matter how dishonorable your tactics may be? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, you have clicked on the right video. And that is because today, we are going to be going over 3 absolute, disgusting, gross, sewage, poop, and shit-filled rat strategies for Clubhouse on Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, so first off, I'm going to be covering CCTV, which is the top floor site most commonly picked first by defenders on Clubhouse. Now, you might see this vary, but it won't really matter for this video. I'm just going to be showing you what I do as an absolute rat for this site first. And I do recommend playing Vigil here. Vigil is a perfect operator for any rat-minded player because it is so hard to drone him out, see what he's doing, and where he's going. So I recommend you pick Vigil here. First off, as with any defense round, you want to reinforce anything on site that your team needs reinforcing. So let's get into the actual juice of this strategy. Being a rat is all about putting yourself in positions where you can get a kill with the least risk to yourself. So I start off by thinking about where attackers are most likely to be early on in the round, so I can know where I want to place myself in the prep phase to be ready for attackers. When defenders go upstairs on Clubhouse, it's really common for attackers to play a buck and go below and take stock control in order to try to clear out people in cache, or try to clear out any bandits or cades on the wall that you could get from below. So I try to take advantage of attackers doing this by making bullet holes in the stage wall looking to the stock door. Now, these 3 bullet holes in the wall are quite obvious to any experienced attacker pushing this position, but this issue can be easily solved by peppering the wall with some spray from your SMG-12. Here's what your newly ratted out wall will look like from an attacker's perspective when pushing stock. As you can tell, it's incredibly hard to see which holes you are playing on as Vigil when the wall is peppered with spray from your SMG-12 secondary. And as Vigil, remember that while you're playing on any rat position, it's very important to be repeatedly spamming your Vigil ability. This will make it much harder for attackers to find out what you're doing, and if you do get droned out on any bullet holes, it's very likely that an attacker will just pre-fire you and then you'll be dead and useless. So now you're probably wondering, when should I leave this position? Now, I always say that you should leave the second you feel any danger, because you do not want to give the attackers enough time to drone you out, see your position, and then set up flank watch and catch you in their rat trap when you try to leave. So if you either get a kill or get droned out somehow while you're playing these bullet holes, I recommend you leave immediately and try to run up the main stairs if possible. Now remember that the site you picked is CCTV, which is upstairs, and you're more than likely going to have an attacker pushing construction window. So what you can do is you can go into Logi and take advantage of the soft wall there by making another ratted out wall with your bullet holes and then your pepper spray in order to make your bullet holes seem less malicious. You can hold these angles on a construction window and kill anybody peeking the construction window or anybody trying to contest B window. Once your position is compromised there, your next goal should be to run down the main stairs and get into the basement. Now, the basement is the perfect sewer for us rat kind. There are so many different places that you can flank and so many different angles that you can hold pressure on attackers from down in the basement that it's a great place to rotate to if you're ever feeling any pressure. Now, once you're in the basement, you can either flank up secret stairs to kill anybody staring at the ceiling in the lounge, or kill anybody trying to push your teammate on the red stairs. You can also hold a very cheeky angle down from oil pit onto the garage stairs to kill any attackers that push up the garage stairs in order to get closer to sight. And remember, as a rat, it is very important to know where attackers are going to be going so you know which angles to be playing on in order to make yourself most effective. So take advantage of your default cameras and listen to callouts from your teammates so you know where to play. Assuming that you were able to land enough cheeky kills in order to actually pick up that CC round, your team's probably going to want to go basement next. And if you're planning on ratting around the basement site, I recommend you play Valk. I know I mentioned Vigil as one of the best ratting operators earlier, but I think Valk on this specific site is really helpful so you can have intel on where the attackers are so you know where to be and when to be there. The first Falcon spot that I recommend is right here under the main stairs in this little lip over the staircase. Now, it's incredibly unlikely for an attacker to push down this very dangerous and highly contested area and look behind them in order to see that cam. That usually doesn't happen, even though it is a very common cam and most attackers know it will be there. It's very, very challenging to safely shoot out. For the next cam, I like to break the glass on the jukebox and toss the Valcam inside of it. It is very easily mistakable for a component of the jukebox, and is unlikely to be shot out by attackers because it looks like it could easily be a part of the jukebox. This cam is very useful for watching bar, and it will come in handy later. This next cam is inside of blue. I like to throw it up here inside of this boiler. This cam is perfect for watching anybody peeking the door into Arsenal or anyone pushing from oil pit side. Like I mentioned earlier, when I'm formulating a rat plan in my head, I like to think of where the attackers are most likely to push first. And on a basement defense, that is most likely to be kitchen because of how important the kitchen hatch is to changing the outcome of the round. So to counter this kitchen push, I like to go into bar and make bullet holes on the far right side of this wall behind the bar. These look into freezer, which is the room that connects to kitchen from the outside, and these angles can easily catch an attacker off guard if they are not paying attention. Here's what these angles look like from an attacker's perspective. As you can see, very little of the soft wall that you're using to make bullet holes is even visible from the door, so it's very unlikely that an attacker is going to be looking at that wall in order to find you playing bullet holes in bar. However, once you get droned out or kill someone or just take some shots and compromise your position, I recommend that you rotate out of bar into strip. Now, strip club is an area of the map that's commonly ignored by attackers, especially in lower ranks, so you can get away with some pretty cheeky stuff back there. This is where that Valk cam in the jukebox earlier comes into play. If you hop on that cam, you get a perfect view on the double door and bar, and if you're playing on this soft wall deep in strip club, you can actually get a perfect angle on that double door and kill any attackers pushing there. So what I'll usually do is I'll be sitting on that cam after I play on my kitchen bullet holes, and then I'll wait for an attacker to go in that double door and either make a punch hole in the wall, try to kill them that way, or just straight up swing the pool table area to try to kill them there. Once your position's compromised in strip club, you kind of have two options. You can either try to flank any players pushing blue by going through bar and around to stock, and then eventually going down the blue stairs, or you can flank any players going down main stairs, but that is a lot more risky usually because there will be a player in the hallway holding your cutoff. But it is up to you to analyze the situation and then make that decision based on where attackers are, and hopefully you can return to site safely one way or another and help your team win out the round after getting a few cheeky picks on attackers early on in the round through bullet holes and that bar position. Okay, now that you absolutely slammed the attackers on your basement defense with your amazing rat strategies, caffeine certified, you're probably going to want to be going gym bedroom, which is the second upstairs site. This is probably the third best site on this map. No one actually plays bar unless you're memeing. And I do recommend that when you're playing this site and planning on being a little rat bitch, you do pick up Vigil once again. I do think Vigil, like I mentioned earlier, is probably the best or the second best operator for ratting. Now, there are actually a lot of really powerful rat positions on this site because of how many soft walls there are that look to, important positions when taking this site for attackers. So I'm going to start off by showing you a punch hole spawn peak that can kill anyone who spawns main entrance in order to go play on those windows that are really important to taking the gym site. As you can see, if you just prone on this wall and do some punch holes, you'll be able to see anybody that runs out in the open on their way to the windows. Now, there will usually be a drone in garage, so make sure when you're doing that punch hole, you have your Vigil mode on, and if you do get droned, don't stay there, you'll get murked. But once you get droned or you get a kill, run all the way down to dirt. Now, this might seem a little bit weird to you, but let me show you this angle. If you make a punch hole in the wall, the soft wall in dirt, you can see all the way to the jacuzzi balcony, which is the main breach on gym bedroom. This is really useful for killing anyone who's rappelling on the wall or just killing anyone who's hanging out on the outside of the balcony. This is really, really hard to notice, this punch hole, from the actual balcony, so it's pretty safe. Once you've gotten a pick there or gotten droned out, you can run all the way up through bar into the pool table area and impact out the hatch to get a pretty sneaky, unexpected angle onto the gym window. Most attackers who go and peek that window are probably not going to be staring directly at the floor to find you under that hatch. They're probably going to be looking at the 19 other angles that they're exposed from on the actual bomb site. So you can land a pretty cheeky pick onto any unsuspecting attacker who is playing too close to that window. Once you've exhausted all three of those angles, it's probably pretty late in the round when the attackers are planning on executing onto the site and trying to get the plant down. So what I recommend you do at that point is run up the main stairs and go support your teammates on site, whether that's watching the main breach or that's watching Logi or any windows. Go back and support your teammates. Hopefully you were able to pick up all 3 rounds that you played on Clubhouse defense with these rat strategies, maybe land a few picks that you usually wouldn't, help your team out early on in the round, and just increase your chances of winning the round. I think it's something like 66% of rounds where one team gets the first pick of the round ends up winning that round. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Really makes the YouTube algorithm like me that much more. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you've had a great day, and I hope that you continue to have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.